And these bastards are the biggest supporters of terrorism in the United States, in the Middle East, and throughout Europe. They've also supported the Taliban, fighting our soldiers. They gave $1.8 billion, the biggest donors to Hamas. Now, other than me and a handful of others, and these fantastic organizations that are digging into the money, digging into these colleges and universities, digging in to what politicians are receiving and companies are receiving from Qatar, which spreads billions and tens of billions of dollars in the West in order to destroy the West. Did you hear a damn thing about terrorism in Qatar? I didn't. Lots going on in the Middle East. There's one thing that did not happen in the Middle East that troubles me and troubles the 9/11 families. Saudi Arabia, there was a lot of pomp and circumstance. You had the monarchy and you had the wealthiest men on the face of the earth running the wealthiest globalist international companies on the face of the earth. I saw that and I said, no, there's globalism. And then they're all talking about isolationism. But that's not even my point. A lot took place with the Saudi Crown Prince. We're going to sell over $140 billion in military equipment and so forth to the Saudis. That's the greatest sale of American military equipment and know-how in our history. There's talk about a civilian nuclear program, which we will help them build. There's talk about a strategic defense relationship between the two of us. And by the way, the Saudis haven't had to do anything in return, like join the Abraham Accords and even recognize the existence of Israel. And that will bring a lot of money into the United States. I believe that's true. But why didn't we ask the Saudi Crown Prince to at least apologize to the 9/11 families? The evidence now is indisputable that the Saudis helped push the radical ideology. The Saudis helped, directly and indirectly, some of the terrorists. That Saudi Arabia effectively had a role in the attack on our country on 9/11. Now, we lost thousands of people. Innocent people going to work in those two towers, innocent people going to the Pentagon, innocent people on all the airplanes who died. All the firefighters, tunnel to towers, this is what they deal with. All the police officers, the security guards. What a horrendous event, or events. Terrorist events. And Saudi Arabia had a role. I don't allow bygones to be bygones when it comes to life and death. I have a friggin' long memory. Not even an apology? Can you imagine what the 9/11 families are thinking, what they're watching? The Israelis sitting there watching, what the hell's going on there? So that troubled me. And then let's talk about Qatar. Oh, Qatar has spent money on our military base there. Oh, Qatar has given us money for this, and they're giving us a plane, and they have such a great tennis league and golf league, and they gave $5 million to the Medal of Honor Museum. They bought into the Medal of Honor Museum. They own sports clubs in the United States, all throughout Europe. And these bastards are the biggest supporters of terrorism in the United States, in the Middle East, and throughout Europe. They've also supported the Taliban, fighting our soldiers. They gave $1.8 billion, the biggest donors to Hamas. The Hamas billionaire bigwigs got safe haven in Qatar, all through up until January 1st of this year, because they saw Donald Trump was going to be president, and they were told that's a bad look. Not that they should drop the terrorism, it's a bad look. Now, other than me and a handful of others who have platforms, and these fantastic organizations that are digging into the money, digging into these colleges and universities, digging in to what politicians are receiving and companies are receiving from Qatar, which spreads billions and tens of billions of dollars in the West in order to destroy the West. Did you hear a damn thing about terrorism in Qatar? I didn't.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.